Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Theodore here, and today we are going to be fixing this Fujifilm Instax Mini 70. So I actually purchased this camera from the thrift store, not knowing if it works or not, and as I was testing it with my testing film, the film actually got jammed. So here I am showing you how to get jammed film out of your Instax camera. This is actually a very frequently asked question on my camera videos, so let's get right into it. So this first step might not apply to everyone, but in my case, my film got jammed while I had my camera on and the lens was out. So all I'm doing right now is retracting the lens so that I don't break it in the process. In my case, however, my buttons were gone, so I had to use a pointy object to push the power button. In my case, I used a screwdriver to constantly push the power button, and you have to do this multiple times. This won't work the first time you push the power button, you just have to constantly push it until your lens gets retracted. Okay, so I want to mention here that if you are looking to save your film, it isn't going to happen, especially the one or the ones, multiple films, which in most cases is the circumstance because multiple films get stuck into the rollers. The only way I can think of that can save the rest of your film from being ruined or exposed is I recommend doing this in a dark room if you have one, or a dark closet would also work, or a much simpler way is by putting this camera in multiple layers of dark pillowcases covered with a dark blanket or towel. You don't have to use those exact materials, but just use anything, even a coat, a dark coat, and keep it really closed out from the light, and you should be able to do the same method. And you especially want to be careful with the hand openings. Don't let any light through. The best way to do that is to turn off the light in your room. From my experience from doing that, I was able to save roughly about 5 film out of the 8 that were left in the canister, so it doesn't really save all of your film, but it saves a majority of them. So from here on out, pretend that I'm actually doing this in somewhere that is dark, for example, the inside of the pillowcase or a closet or something, but you want to do this in a dark place in order to save your film. So here's the most important part. Here I am just showing you that my film is indeed jammed. I'm just tugging on the film canister and it is jammed. But before doing this, just keep in mind that there is a small lever that helps push the film up into the rollers. So as you are pulling the film canister out, do it as gently as possible because you don't want to break that lever. Here I'm just holding onto a plastic part on the film canister, and you want to make sure that you don't push onto the film very hard because that could break your film and the chemical pockets inside. Once you're at this point where half of your film canister is out of the camera, you want to still continue to wiggle it out of the camera, but then you want to start doing it in a zigzaggy motion where you pull the film canister apart from the film that is stuck inside of the rollers. So at this point, now that you've pulled out your film canister, make sure that you are facing it down inside of the pillowcase or something really dark inside of that closet, like facing down on something, because you don't want that film to be exposed to light or anything. So make sure it's facing down in something dark. So, like I've mentioned before, the reason why your film could have been jammed is because there are 2 or more films stuck in your rollers. In my case, that is exactly what happened, and it most likely happened because these are used film put inside a used film canister. In other cases that I could think of that this could potentially happen is because the films are too close to each other in the film canister. That is why when the film lever is pushing the film up into the rollers, it pushes 2 film rather than 1 film. The final and last step that you are going to be doing is pull the film that is stuck inside of the rollers out, and you only want to pull 1 film at a time and as gently as possible because you don't want to break the rollers or the gears in the camera. I'm pulling the film out in a zigzag motion. I'm pulling one side out and then I'm pulling the other side out. I'm doing this as gently as possible because I just don't want to break any gears. Once you pull that last film out, make sure you put in the film canister right away and then close the lid, and you can turn on the light now. Yes, this footage is actually done a lot later after I was able to pull that film out. I actually went on and put some buttons on the camera, and that would be a part of another video, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this camera no longer flashed the letter E and the lens does retract, and I'm so glad I was able to fix this camera, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video tutorial as well. And I really hope that that was a very helpful and informative video for you guys, and if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.